Right, so slightly surprisingly, we're not too far off touching distance of the playoffs. Two big games in this episode. Win both of them, could be in with a chance. Hello guys, David here and welcome back to episode number 22 of Hometown Hero. Hope you are all well. Hope you had a lovely weekend as well. In this episode we're going to be showing you two very important games. One is going to be at home to Stockport and the second is going to be away to Aldershot. As you can see and as you may have understood by the intro, we're not too far off the playoffs at this moment in time. We have pretty much secured safety, as you can see. We can still technically be relegated. We can still finish between 1st and 22nd. But we're pretty comfortable. I mean, if you can get 50 points in a 44-game season, I think you probably think you're safe, don't you? So we're looking pretty good on that side. Most importantly, though, we're 6 points behind Barrow, who are in the final playoff position. Now, that's a big gap when we've got, 9 games left? I think it's a 44-game season. It's a big gap, but it's not insurmountable, and we've not been doing too badly since you were last with us. In the last episode, we obviously had the win against Solihull Moors, which that was the turnaround one, wasn't it? Yeah, we went 1-0 up, 2-1 down, 3-2 win, which is quite nice. And then that unfortunate defeat to Notts County, although when you look at on reflection, didn't really deserve to win that game. We got lucky and then done over by a couple of, easy goals at the end of the game. But since then, we've not been lighting the league up with form, but we went 5 games unbeaten, wins against Chesterfield, Dover and Barrow, draws against Fylde and Yeovil. This was the most disappointing one because if you look at it, we were 3-0 up and then we conceded in the 95th minute to draw against Fylde, and that was really, really frustrating. Yeovil went 1-0 up, we went 2-1 up, we drew 2-2, which is fine. I can deal with that, apart from the fact that Tommy Adaloy, I think that penalty was in the last minute. I think it's 93rd minute he missed that, which is a bit disappointing. And there was another one as well. I can't remember which game it was. Oh yeah, it was the 3-0 win over Barrow, where Jamie Bradley Green missed a penalty, but in the reality of things, didn't really make much of a difference. Other thing to bring you to the attention of, or two more things to bring you to the attention of before we start the games. One, youth intakes come through. You may have seen this on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, that's fine, but you probably should, so you can get little updates on the club as we go through. But we did have a youth intake, so I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time. As you can see, there's a couple of really decent looking players. The ones I'm looking at here is obviously Lee Morton, who is he's an incredible looking goalkeeper, which is really impressive considering everything that's going on. Really chuffed that he's come into the squad. And this lad here, Ali Stroud, again, looks like a decent option on the left-hand side. We could do with another option down the left, and he looks like he could start to get a bit of potential as well. Already got some half-decent physicals on him, which is nice. Yeah, needs a bit of ambition, maybe a bit of determination, which he's got. So yeah, some good options there. If you want one of these people, you know the drill by now. You need to go into that description. You need to click on the Just Giving link, which is down there. And if you donate at least a £5, which, if you think about it, is one very, very fancy coffee from many of the coffee chains across the country nowadays, don't get that for a day and put it to a really good cause. And you've got the lovely option of getting yourself firmly ingrained into the squad. Sounds like a win-win situation to me. I really agree. Anyway, that's happened. Like I say, some really good options. Lee Morton has already signed a youth contract with us. He will be with us next year and probably will be fighting for a first team position because he looks really, really good. Got to be honest. The other thing that is new is the fact that Mr. Warren Bentley has signed a new deal, and now I can't find it. Here it is. He has signed a new deal for another season. He's gone up a little bit in money, and as you can see, his contract will see him change his job from just being a player to being our first team coach as well. I have been getting him on his coaching courses. He's not massively efficient as a coach just yet, but he's got to stay in the squad. He's got to stay at the club. And yeah, had to happen. So he is in the squad. He's still doing his license. As you can see, he's currently studying for his National B, which is the second one, I think. So I think it's National C, B, A, and then Continental, and things like that. But he has signed a new contract with the club, just basically ingraining himself into the club more and more and more, which is exactly what I want, because I want to keep him forever and ever. Amen. No matter how many coaches we have, he will always, in my eyes, be one of them. I have to try and keep him by whatever means possible. Anyway, Into the team selection for the first game against Stockport. All my ranting well and truly done. This is going to be the side that's going to be going up against the lads from Stockport today when we welcome them to the Silver Lake Stadium. I'm really intrigued to see what happens at the end of the season, see if we actually get Ray Mack back and they actually do some work on it. It'd be interesting to see. It's going to be Alexis Andre Jr. in goal, Icethorpe, Sutcliffe, Janyeva and Genesini at the back four. Been doing quite nicely in terms of keeping it nice and tight at the back at the moment, which is really nice. Diaz, Nippard, Senga and Thistleton on the in the midfield three, and then Adeloy and Marcus Day are going to be playing up front. Although Warren Bentley is still the club's top scorer, he's not really performed too well recently, but he is an option on the bench should we need him. Jamie Bradley Green suspended, Wilson and Cope both injured. Jay Sean Chamberlain-Gale and Ollie Gardner both not in the club, both out on loan at the moment. Didn't really need them. They were just getting in the way a little bit. I mean, Ollie went out months ago, but Jay Sean went out a couple of weeks ago in game. So he is somewhere. I think, where did he go? Somewhere in the Isthmian Premier Division. I can't remember the club it was off the top of my head. But anyway, that's not important. The important thing is to try and get a win at home against Stockport in this one. And like I say, just try and push towards these playoffs. I would never have expected us to be anywhere near this. We just seem to have, I wouldn't necessarily say it's actually been subject to our brilliant form. We've just slowly been going out about our business. We've arguably kept ourselves under the radar, got some wins against some teams that were above us, and watched some other teams falter, and Icethorpe's given away a penalty in the first 2 minutes. It seemed a little bit harsh, but I can kind of understand he was coming in from behind. Rudy's going to step up. And Andre Jr. kind of, he almost, like his little avatar, whatever you want to call it, just went like that. He didn't go like that. He just did a rotation thing. You see what I mean? He literally just, he just went 90 degrees. That was it. He didn't really dive, which is a bit of a shame. Stockport are below us. That does close them up a little bit on us. And it does make the chance of us going into the playoffs a little bit slimmer, unfortunately. But like I say, I can't stress this enough. The playoffs was never in the book for us to be able to get anywhere near this first season. It was very much a consolidation year. So if we get there, wow, I mean, amazing. I almost hope that it'd be nice if we get there. Obviously, I'm quite happy to do that, but I would rather hope that we don't win it. Don't really want to get promoted again too quickly, because 2 was enough. If we get promoted a 3rd season in a row, that's just going to be ridiculous, and we will guarantee to go straight back down. I would never ever see us staying above board in the Football League in our first season after getting 3 promotions in a row. That would just be silly, as far as I'm concerned. But it does prove that this is a fantastic tactic. And if you are interested in seeing the tactic in a bit more detail and seeing it potentially with some other clubs as well, you may have already seen that I've done a video with this tactic being reviewed against a Premier League side in the form of Chelsea, which came out really well, actually. I was quite impressed with how they got on. If you do want to see that one, then go and have a look around the channel. If I remember correctly, then if I remember to do it, I will put it in the corner right now, but I probably won't. So go on the channel, it'll be there by the point this video is live. Now that, for a first half display, was a bit dull for us. Wasn't too good. Not creating many chances, unfortunately. And yeah, not really given Stockport much to worry about. 3 shots, none of which were on target, which is a bit disappointing. And that does mean that the gap at the moment to the playoffs is going to stretch to 7, and doesn't look like it's going to be getting any better, unfortunately. It's really weird. I'm still waiting for so many of these league games, like the amount of games that teams have played, to level out. You've got the likes of Eastleigh on 34, all the way up to Barnet and co, towards the top end, who have played 37. It's all a little bit weird. Anyway, we'll make some changes. Adeloy's not really been playing too well, so we'll bring on Warren Bentley to see if he can get a couple of goals. He's had chances in games. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at this. Look at the performance from this Stockport team. They have absolutely bossed us around the place. And then, can we bring Thistleton off? We could, but not really anyone we can replace him with. I think I'll bring Diaz off for Davies instead. But yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be 7 points adrift, because I can't see us getting anything out of this. We've not created at all. It's going to be a very quick game on this video for this one, which is not the end of the world, because the video's been a little bit long recently. But yeah, it's not a good performance, to be completely honest. Not impressed with that one. Didn't create anything. Yeah, all a bit flat, to be completely honest. And they don't even have a manager. Deary, deary me. Right, on to Aldershot. Okay, so you're not going to see the Aldershot game. As you can see, that big P tells us it's been postponed. Waterlogged pitch at the Recreation Ground. That means, by the looks of it, our next game is going to be at home to Eastleigh. So we'll skim forwards. We'll do that one instead. Okie dokie then. Eastleigh, well, at their home stadium, but the away side. A little bit weird. 3,500 odd tickets sold for this game as well, which is incredible. Love, 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 love to see that. Like I say, hopefully we'll be back at the Ray-Mac next season, but I have no idea. Last time I did this save, did it offline in FM20. I got promoted 3 seasons in a row, and yeah, didn't really have the chance to because they weren't going to rebuild it to have more seating. So maybe if we stay in this league more longer, who knows? It might change. I don't know. We'll soon find out anyway. But couple of changes in the side for this game. Rhys Davies has replaced Aisthorpe, Beesthorpe, however you pronounce it, on the left-hand side. Jeffries and James come into the midfield to replace Jay Senga and Luke Nippard, and Bentley has come in to replace Marcus Day, who's not really performed well, but neither's Warren Bentley, to be honest. So just changing it up a little bit, really. Yeah, apologies for those of you who may have wanted to see the Wassett game, the Aldershot game, but I can't help a waterlogged pitch. So if you want to have a moan, go on Twitter, go find Aldershot Town and go moan at them by the fact that their pitch is waterlogged. If you do that, then I would love to be tagged in it because that'd be really funny. If you've got the nads to do it. Anyway, game well underway. Eastleigh on the first real attack of the game, and that's just gone wide of the target. No real need for Alexis to worry too much there. But letting chances like that come through is never what I like to see. But anyway, hopefully, big ball, hoof forwards. Defensive header drops to Thistleton, who finds James. Lovely bit of play there to bring it over to Genesini. Can he whip a ball in? I think he can. He can get a ball in. Adeloy's there. Oh, it's just over the bar. That was a really, really nicely worked bit of play down the down the right hand side there. Got a lot of time for that. We are now 8 points adrift of Hartlepool, who currently occupy the final playoff place, but we do have 2 games in hand over them, so who knows what could happen there. Big throw in, only as far as the Eastleigh keeper, unfortunately, and it's a big clearance from him, but fortunately Sutcliffe is there to pick up the pieces, plays it forward to James, who finds Diaz on the left hand side. Really nice ball that. Plays it between Jeffries, Adeloy now. Back to Davies, finds Diaz, big ball across. Bentley's there! Bentley scored. Of course he has. He hasn't performed recently, but he loves it on the camera, does Warren Bentley. It's his 18th goal of the season. Not quite the returns that he had in his first 2 seasons, but the fact that he's still managing to get the goals at whatever level we put him in at, he's pretty impressive to me. And I'm very, very glad we've got him in for another season. Big claim from the corner there from Alexis Andre Jr. You love to see that. And it's a big ball forward. Adeloy to pick it up. Goes to Thistleton. Pings the ball forward. Bentley's in again. He's in on goal. Is he going to finish this one? Oh, he just took a little bit too long. Took a touch too many. And he does get tackled and dispossessed. But only as far as... a highlight finished. Never mind. Genesini, Thistleton pings it forwards. Ooh, that's good. I'm liking the play down this right-hand side. Good bit of focus. Lovely bit of play. And admittedly, I say I'm liking it all the play down the right. We scored off the left. It's always the way, isn't it? Ball forwards, terrible defending, but Alexis is there to bail him out. He shouldn't have been getting a chance there. Corner ball in, Sutcliffe clears. Sutcliffe is one of the players who I am looking to bring on a permanent basis when his loan ends at the end of this season. He does run out of contract with Wimbledon at the end of this season as well, so wow. Okay. So I am trying to get him in on a permanent basis. I'm looking to see if I can do something similar for Bailey Aisthorpe as well. I don't know off the top of my head when his contract finishes at Peterborough, but it's an option to extend the loan should we want to anyway. So he seems like a really good option to keep in, keep the depth on the left-hand side as well. Seems to be silly not to do that. But half-time, not too bad. You'd argue Eastleigh have had the better of the game. However, I'm pretty pleased with that because Eastleigh are not a bad side. But we want to win the Battle of Silver Lake Stadium. And at the moment, because Hartlepool, I believe, are they losing? They're losing to Dover. That puts us 5 points, no, 7 points adrift of that playoff place. I'll get my maths right soon, don't you worry. You wait until there's actually some proper maths on the table. Bentley's in again. Oh, could he have put that the other side of the goalkeeper? Oh, it's those chances you live to regret, isn't it, at the end of the day? That's a bit disappointing. We'll bring Marcus Day on for Alloy because he has played so much football recently. And I think that will do for now. Probably Janyeva's one of those ones we want to keep an eye out for. Not been playing too well, but defensively, the ratings aren't looking too bad. Not really got anyone who we can bring in there. In fact, yes, we do. I can shift things around a little bit. Right, we're going to bring Janyeva off there, bring Nippard on. Cameron James sits in at the centre half position. Nippard comes in alongside to partner Jeffries. There you go. That was easy. Thistleton looking a bit tired, so I think in a couple of minutes, yep, around about 80, we will switch that around as well. Do it now. So we'll bring Jeffries onto the right, because he can play there. I know that there's been people badgering me in the comments. I say it like it's happened on a real regular occasion, telling me that I shouldn't do that, because he's better in the middle, but he can do a job on the right-hand side, and it's the kind of thing we need, because Jake Cope, I probably should have mentioned, has been released from his contract. He was the one, in case you've forgotten, who had a 9 to 11 month injury, moaned about wanting to leave. There's no point keeping him, really. And as I mentioned that, we've won. We've won the Battle of Silver Lake Stadium. We are going to be taking home the 3 points and potentially keeping our playoff hopes alive just about. We finished that game 6 points behind Hartlepool. Arguably, well, clearly with a much worse goal difference than them, but 2 games in hand. Win both of those games, we go level on points. We just need to keep an eye out for Fylde and Barrow as well. So what we'll do, let's just go on to the schedule. The last 2 games of the season we will come back for. So we'll come back for the Gateshead and the Rochdale games. Rochdale in 3rd, Gateshead in 12th. I know we've played Gateshead once already this year. If only these 2 were switched around, that'd be much easier. You could see 2 different teams, but it's interesting to see, isn't it? Hopefully, we'll have something in terms of something to play for by that point. That's the intention. That's the hope. But if you have enjoyed this one, smash the like button down below. It'd be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments as always. But that's it from me, guys. My name's been David. Catch you guys next time. Cheers.